You think you know Africa lions, safaris, sunsets over the Serengeti. But what if there's a country so rich, so strange, so unfiltered, it rewrites every cliché? Welcome to Angola, a nation where women carry entire economies on their heads, where the most sensual dance in Brazil was actually born on these dusty streets, and where you could be arrested just for taking the local currency out of the country. Yes, Angola exists. And no, it's nothing like you imagined. Because the most mind-blowing part about Angola isn't just its oil, diamonds, or epic landscapes. It's the stories no one's told you. But what no one expected was this. Join us as we blaze a new path through 15 mind-blowing facts about Angola, Africa's most unique nation. This is the global trail on the map. Angola might look like just another name in southern Africa, but zoom in, and it reveals a world entirely its own, shaped by empires, scarred by war, and rising with quiet power. Angola is a country of radical contrasts. Here, Portuguese cathedrals stand next to tribal kingdoms, oil pipelines cut through rainforests, and traditions older than history live on in hairstyles, marriages, and music. It's one of Africa's largest countries, richest in resources, and yet one of its most misunderstood. You won't see Angola topping bucket lists, but maybe that's exactly why you should. Because what lies beneath the surface isn't just surprising, it's revolutionary. From economic paradoxes to cultural revolutions, we're about to unravel the facts that make Angola unforgettable. And by the end, you might wonder, why didn't I know this sooner? Let's begin. 15 mind-blowing facts about Angola. The name that started it all. What if a country's name didn't come from colonizers, but kings long before the Portuguese ever set sail for Africa's west coast? The land we now call Angola was ruled by a mighty kingdom Ndongo. At its helm stood the Angola, a royal title meaning king or ruler. When the Portuguese arrived in the 16th century, they didn't invent a name, they borrowed one. Angola became Angola, a subtle shift that masked centuries of resistance, pride, and power. So every time someone says Angola, they're actually invoking a title, not a territory. It's not just a country, it's a legacy. A reminder that long before maps were drawn or borders imposed, this land had its own name and its own voice, and we've only just started listening. 2. The flag that fought for freedom. Most flags wave in the wind. Angola's flag. It bleeds, split between bold red and black. It's not just design, it's defiance. The red symbolizes the blood spilled during Angola's long, brutal fight for independence. The black, the African continent itself enduring, unbroken. But what really grabs you is the emblem, a half-gear and a machete. Not random symbols, but a declaration. The gear represents industry, labor, a nation building from the ashes. The machete, a nod to the armed struggle revolution forged by hand, not just hope. Unlike flags stitched to please, this one tells the truth, raw, unapologetic, a blend of war and work, pain and progress. It's not pretty for Instagram, but it's powerful in the soul. Because in Angola, freedom didn't come wrapped in ribbon, it came sharpened. 3. Where Africa speaks in 40 languages. What if every village had a voice and none of them sounded the same in Angola? Over 40 native languages flow through daily life like rivers, each one carrying stories, songs, and centuries of memory. While Portuguese is the official language, it's just the surface. Dig deeper, and you'll hear Umbundu in the Central Highlands, Kimbundu in the bustling heart of Luanda, Kikongo echoing through the north. These aren't dialects, they're identities. Languages here don't just communicate, they belong. They pass down ancestry, settle disputes, sing babies to sleep. And while many countries silence their native tongues, Angola wears them like a mosaic, messy, proud, alive, in a world racing toward sameness. Angola reminds us to speak many tongues is to carry many worlds. A marriage system where wives have the power. In most cultures, polygamy means power for men. But in Angola, the women decide. Among tribes like the Ovimbundu and Kimbundu, it's not unusual for a man to have multiple wives. But here's the twist. He can't marry another unless his current wife approves. Yes, really. And she's not just consulted, she's respected. Each wife typically has her own home. Together, they form a cluster of cooperation, not competition. Farming, child-rearing, community life, shared like a well-run village. Marriage here isn't about dominance, it's about duty. A man's status is judged by how well he provides, not how many he claims. And the women, they're the backbone, the negotiators, the real architects of the home in Angola. Strength wears a dress, walks barefoot, and says yes or no. Because tradition here isn't passive, it's powerful. The dreadlocks that speak of ancestors. To some, it's just a hairstyle. In Angola, it's heritage sculpted in clay. Among the Muila and Mukubal tribes, dreadlocks are more than fashion, they're sacred, crafted with a blend of red clay, butter, herbs, and even ash. These locks aren't just worn, they're lived. Each lock tells a story of age, of beauty, of mourning. Young women wear 4 to 6 locks, symbolizing growth and grace. But during loss, they cut one off to honor the departed in silence. Down south, the Himba women of Angola and Namibia use a striking red paste ogize to bind their locks, protect them from the sun, and connect them to the earth itself. These aren't trends, they're timelines. In a world that often forgets its roots, Angola's women wear theirs proudly on their heads. Because here, identity isn't whispered, it's braided. 6. Zeras women carrying the world. Barefoot. Forget CEOs in boardrooms. In Angola, power walks barefoot, balancing a basin on her head. They're called Zeras women who weave through Luanda's chaotic streets, carrying fruit, clothes, sometimes even furniture, all atop their heads, children strapped to their backs. They are the informal economy, the lifeblood, the resilience behind 80% of Angola's workforce. But don't mistake their silence for submission. They negotiate prices with razor precision, soothe crying babies mid-sail, and navigate traffic like warriors. No spreadsheets, no smartphones, just grit, grace, and gravitational mastery. To outsiders, it's remarkable. To Angolans, it's everyday life. And when the economy wavers, it's the Zeras who keep the wheels turning without ever sitting down. They don't just carry goods, they carry generations. 7. Beaches with no tourists, just magic. No crowds, no resorts, no noise, just waves whispering secrets in Portuguese. Angola's coastline stretches over 1,600 kilometers, yet few outside Africa even know it exists. That's what makes it spellbinding. At Bahia Azul and Praia Morena, golden sands melt into crystal waters untouched, unspoiled, unbelievably quiet. No beach clubs, no cruise ships, just fishermen singing as the sun dips below the Atlantic. And then there's the festivals along the shore. Fishing villages come alive with sea parades, boat races, and open-air seafood feasts. Tourists stumble upon them by accident and leave feeling reborn. Because this isn't vacation, it's belonging. In a world of overexposed destinations, Angola's beaches offer something rare, a moment that's yours alone. Ruka Falls, Africa's other Niagara. Some waterfalls roar, this one thunders, tucked away in central Angola. Ruka Falls spans over 300 feet wide and plunges nearly 400 feet down a spectacle that rivals even Victoria Falls or Niagara. But here's the twist. There are no gates, no fences, no tourist lines, just raw power, cascading through untouched jungle, sending mist skyward like ancient smoke signals. Stand close enough, and you won't just hear the falls, you'll feel them pounding in your chest, rattling through your bones. Locals speak of spirits that dwell in its depths. Others come just to breathe in its wild energy. No matter why you arrive, one thing's certain, you'll leave different. Because Ruka doesn't just fall, it awakens. Mine, where diamonds and oil flow like stories. Angola doesn't just sparkle, it pulses with wealth. As the second largest oil producer in sub-Saharan Africa and one of the world's top diamond exporters, this nation fuels economies far beyond its borders. But here's what most don't see. In Luanda Norte, diamonds aren't just mined, they're believed to carry the spirits of the earth. And in the oil fields of Cabinda, extraction is both boom and burden. For every barrel and every gem, there's a story of legacy, of conflict, of promise. Because in Angola, riches run deep, but meaning runs deeper. 10. Semba, the dance that birthed Brazil's Samba. You've heard of Samba, but have you met her mother long before Brazil's carnival fever? Angola's streets pulsed with the sensual, syncopated rhythm of Semba, born from the word masemba, meaning a touch of the bellies. Semba is more than dance, it's dialogue. Two bodies, one story. A flirtation wrapped in tradition. When enslaved Angolans were taken to Brazil in the 17th century, they carried Semba in their bones. It evolved, adapted, and became the Samba the world now knows. But the soul, still Angolan. Watch it today, and you'll see lovers, laughter, even protest hidden in footwork and hip sway. Because Semba doesn't just move the body, it remembers. 11. A currency you can't take home. What if your souvenir was illegal in Angola? The local currency, the kwanza, is fiercely protected, not by banks, by law. Take it out of the country. You're breaking it. Unlike most currencies that fly freely across borders, the kwanza is locked in. It's designed to stay home, circulate locally, and shield the economy from foreign shocks. It's not about secrecy, it's about sovereignty. Think of it like Cuba's convertible peso, or North Korea's yuan. But Angola's version comes with a twist. Tourists are welcome, but their cash stays behind. So while you may leave Angola with stories, spices, or sand in your shoes, don't expect to pocket the kwanza, because in this country, even the money knows where it belongs. So, Luanda, the most expensive city you never knew. Think Paris is pricey. Try Luanda. Angola's capital, perched on the Atlantic, isn't just rich in culture, it's expensive. With housing costs rivaling New York and gourmet dinners that outprice London. Luanda ranks among the most expensive cities for expats in the world. Why? A booming oil industry, luxury imports, and sky-high demand in a city still rebuilding. Yet, amid designer boutiques and upscale resorts, street vendors still sell grilled fish and funge on sidewalks. It's a city of contradiction where opulence and hustle share the same avenue. In Luanda, wealth is visible, but so is resilience. Teen, the antelope that came back from the dead. Some animals go extinct quietly, but in Angola, one returned like a legend. The giant sable antelope, once believed lost forever during years of war, was miraculously rediscovered in the early 2000s, hiding deep within Kangandala National Park, with its jet black coat and majestic curved horns. It's more than rare. It's sacred, a national symbol of pride and resilience. Locals call it a ghost of the forest. Scientists call it a miracle. And Angola, it calls it hope. Because sometimes, nature doesn't disappear. It waits for peace. 14. A culinary soul called Funge. Every culture has its comfort food. In Angola, it's called funge, a smooth, stretchy dough made from cassava or cornmeal, stirred until thick, then served warm beside rich stews. It doesn't look fancy, but it feels like home. Often paired with moamba de galinha, a chicken stew simmered in palm oil, garlic, and spices. Funge becomes more than a meal. It's a ritual. Families gather around, eat with their hands, and share stories between bites. There's no garnish, no pretense, just unity, flavor, and a legacy passed down with every mouthful. In Angola, food isn't styled for Instagram. It's made for belonging. Teen, the festival, where a nation dances as one. What does unity sound like in Angola? It's drums pounding across hills, laughter echoing through streets, and thousands moving as one. Welcome to Carnaval de Luanda, the heart-thumping, soul-shaking celebration that floods the capital each year with color, rhythm, and joy. Floats glide past in a blur of sequins and feathers. Dancers twist to the beat of Semba. Elders chant. Children sing. Strangers become family. It's not just spectacle, it's belonging and beyond carnival. The drum festival unites Angola's many ethnic groups through one shared language rhythm. In a country shaped by complexity, these festivals offer something rare: collective identity, felt in every stomp and every smile. Because in Angola, culture isn't preserved in silence, it's celebrated in motion. So now you know, Angola isn't just oil rigs and forgotten headlines, it's rhythm and resilience, ceremony and contradiction. A land where wealth sleeps beside war scars, where ancient dances birth global movements, and where women carry more than goods, they carry nations. Every fact you've just heard isn't just trivia. It's a thread in Angola's vibrant, complex tapestry. And maybe, just maybe, it makes you wonder, what other stories have we missed? Because sometimes, The most unforgettable places aren't the loudest on the map. They're the ones waiting to be seen. Thank you for walking this path with the Global Trail. We'll see you on the next one. Which fact about Angola left you speechless? Drop a comment below and type "mind equals blown" if Angola just earned a spot on your bucket list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this journey with someone who still thinks Africa is just safaris and sunsets. And if you're hungry for more hidden gems, check out our deep dive into life in Angola, the most underrated country in Central Africa. Thanks for traveling with the Global Trail. Until next time, keep your mind open and your trail blazing.